Hi there, you're welcome to the BRR Show, which is the Business, Relationship and Real Life Issues show, where we have conversations from lenses that are different from what you are regularly used to. My name is Oluwatobi Sola-Abiola and I'm your host. Our guest for today is someone who is highly sought after. It was almost getting him here today, but I'm grateful that he's here with us today. I mean, you would look back at this episode and you would always be grateful that you watched this episode. Stay back and relax as we have our guest introduce himself. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Oluwati. My name is Olutayo Olushola. I'm a behavioral change consultant, a family and behavioral change consultant. What I do basically is to help families, couples, and people in relationships to maximize, to develop, and to be the best in their relationships. I also help people to break long-standing habits and help them to calibrate their behaviors. I think that will be
Mm.
enough for now.
I like how you're just able to really summarize it, but by the time we delve into this conversation, you'll be able to break it down.
Surely.
And so my first question really would be, why would you, or what was your interest in working with couples, with people in relationships? I really want to know what spurred you into choosing that life's path.
That's a big question. If I tell you I actually know the reason why, I may not be specific, but I've just come to discover that that is part of my calling. I realized that very early in life that I was going to get married. And I wonder why God laid it on my heart at the age of 19.
Wow.
And from then, I've been nurturing the notion of getting married. Little wonder I got married at the age of 26.
What?
So you can imagine I've been doing marriage for the past 26 years. And I asked myself, if I am not married, how would I be able to help people in relationship? Will anybody want to listen to me? So I've come to realize that was the reason why it was actually laid on my heart very early in life. I'm passionate about seeing people enjoy their relationship because I've been enjoying mine for the past 26 years. So when I hear about people complain about relationships, I wonder, is it that complex? But I've come to realize that it's not that complex, but human beings are the one that are complex.
Wow. I like the way you put it. And this goes to show that not everybody wants to get married, right? Or not everybody at the end of the day really would get married. And so because you had the desire, you were able to get married. And I try to answer some people sometimes when they say, I don't feel like getting married. And I'm like, it's okay. But from your lens as a more advanced person with experiences, do you think it is necessary for everybody to get married?
Funnily, I always ask this question when people come to me and they talk about marriage, especially singles. The first question I ask them, must you marry? And they look at me with this kind of eye. What are you talking about? Why must I not marry? I say, must you marry? And sometimes when I ask them, why do you really want to get married? Somebody said they gave back to me, so I must give back to somebody.
I hear that too.
So is it not about giving back to people? Somebody said, I want to be remembered. And I tell them, I said, have you ever seen somebody that never had a child and was actually remembered? I asked them, how many of the children of Bill Gates do you know? How many of the children of Mark Zuckerberg do you know? Do we remember people because of their children or because of their brainchild? What impact are you creating? That's what people will remember you for.
Wow.
So I asked them, must you really marry? Because honestly, we've come to take marriage as something that must be done. And that's why we are running into so much problem. Marriage is good. If you desire it, go for it. I love people to get married. But of what business is it for you to be in a marriage that you have been frustrated? Why? So why don't you have a good concept, a good philosophy about marriage? Because you will never be able to do marriage beyond the philosophy you have about marriage.
Wow. Wow. I would like to base the next question on your wealth of experience. So, for every generation, there are prevalent questions that must be answered. And in your 26 years, I'm sure that there must have been other experiences from people that you've seen. And I want to know really because some words have evolved over time. Now we have feminism, we have a woke generation, the Sorosoke generation. And in your course of counseling, would you say that the problems are still the same problems even across the generations that you've worked with? Or you feel that there's the questions that are coming are these ones are very different though? Maybe.
Honestly, I won't lie to you. I don't think anything have really changed in the way people have been handling marriages. Even though times and seasons have been changing, but I realize that human beings have stuck to their belief system
Mm,
and they are not realizing the fact that things are really changing. You can imagine that a young boy of 30 years old or 26 years old of today still want to treat his wife the way his father of 60-year-old treated his mother when they
mm,
got married. It means that there is this belief system that is so strong that we had not been able to detach from. Because honestly, the same complaint my mother, that I heard my mother complained about, is the same thing young ladies of today are complaining about. The same thing my dad complained about is the same thing that I'm hearing the young boys of today. My dad complained of sex. The young boys of today, the young married men of today are still complaining that their wives denying them sex. So
mm,
it's all about, I don't think this problem will fizzle away. But I think when we begin to change as human beings, we begin to learn. I always say that when you know better, you will do better.
absolutely.
Knowledge bridges the gap between who you are today and who you could always be. Bridges the gap between the problem that you are having today and the solution you are looking for. So I feel that things are not really changing. But I've come to let people know that we are no longer doing marriage 1.0. We are now doing marriage 2.0.
Mm,
If you live your marriage based on 1.0, in those days that women are giving out to a man as a gift, a woman that was not sent to school and is expected that the husband will be the one to carry the loads of her life. If you think that is still what marriage is, it has changed. And if you think that you are looking for a man that's coming to carry the loads
mm,
of your life, I think marriage has changed. So today is about what are you bringing? It's a partnership.
mm.
There's no sole proprietorship again in marriage. It's partnership. I choose you, you choose me. We bring something to the table and we do marriage together. You can't do marriage alone. I can't do marriage alone. It's not me or myself. It's us or we.
This kind of like sounds odd or different because young ladies my age want to be cared for. We want to be taken care of. And so
Mhm.
when you say partnership, you say you bring something to the table and the other person brings something to the table. It makes me wonder then. I say, who are the people that raised some people in my generation? Because you say these things are over time.
You know, I love the fact that you took note of that statement, partnership. When I teach marriage, I teach it in 5 dynamics. You can't look at marriage from one particular dynamics alone. There are so many dynamics that you look at. So I teach partnership dynamics of marriage. I teach the covenant dynamics of marriage. I teach the enterprise dynamics of marriage. Teach the nation dynamics of marriage. And I teach
Mm,
the team dynamics of marriage. When you're talking about a lady wanting to be cared for, you're talking about responsibility. And that's what we teach when we talk about roles in marriage. A woman needs to be cared for. The responsibility of the man is to care for the wife and the children. It's a government. If we say the responsibility of every government is the welfare and the security of the citizen,
nation.
then the responsibility of the man is the welfare and the security of the home. That is where a woman is being cared for. And you know, as citizens have responsibilities, so everybody that we call the stakeholder in the home, the wife, the children, and every other person also have responsibility. So what we
Mm,
are saying is that it is natural that a woman want to be cared for. When I'm saying that a woman should bring something to the table, it may not be in the area of the money and all those
finances.
things, but we are saying that a man cannot even do without the woman. There's so much that the man needs to depend on the woman for.
Mm,
So a woman cannot be relegated, cannot be cannot be looked down on. Why? Because the role of a woman cannot be overemphasized. It's very, very critical. When you hear Yoruba say ejikati kinjashoja, but the shoulder that does not allow clothes to fall down, that's the woman.
Wow.
That's what we are saying that the woman need to bring to the table. A man needs encouragement. He comes back from work tired, battered by the statement made by the MD or the boss in the office. If everybody is no longer on his side, the wife at least should be on his side.
Hey.
So you can imagine how important a woman is. That's why I tell women, I said, don't look down on yourself. Your role is an esteemed role. Glorify it and tell yourself, I'm not just a cook, I'm more than a cook. Are you understanding me?
Yes,
We'll talk more about that later.
Wow. So these things that you're bringing up would kind of like bring up some emotions in some people, because not many people understand the lens in which you're seeing things and seeing life.
That's why we're here.
And so I would say that for the young person around, what should be the target when choosing a spouse?
Like I said, must you marry? What you need to understand is that you did not write the goal of coming to this planet. You are not the one who decided to come. Somebody sent you here on assignment, and we call it purpose. There is always a reason for a thing, a purpose for it. When you don't know the purpose of a thing, you abuse it. So the first thing you should ask yourself, why am I here? Let that purpose inform the kind of person that you are going to invite to journey with you in your journey of life. So that's the first thing any young man, young woman outside there should think about. You want to get married? Where are you going as a person? So don't go and marry somebody that is not going your direction. If any man come to propose to you, the first question you should ask him is not, where are you working? It's not, do you have money? It's not, do you have a car? It is, where are you going? So that we know that you are going my direction. So that you won't be a man that won't lead, and she won't be a woman that won't follow. Because I'm telling you, women knows where they are going. So if you won't lead them to where they are going, they will leave you.
I like that statement. Women know where they're going.
They know where they're going.
Absolutely. So we'll take a quick break right now. When we return, we'll continue with this conversation. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. It's still the BRR Show, and with us is Oluwatobi Sola-Abiola. We're continuing our conversation, and the last thing he said before we went on the break is that women know where they're going to. Can you shed more light on that?
Well, I know you took note of the fact that I said that women knows where they are going, know where they are going in life. Also, the men do. But the truth is that I've come to realize that men and women don't take cognizance, or they don't place premium on where they are going. And where they are going is the purpose. Purpose should inform the kind of person you inform to join you on your journey of life. So for the women, they need to ask the man, where are you going? So that they can know whether the man is going their direction. The man also needs to ask the women, where are they going? So that you begin to check, do we align in our purpose? Do we align in our journey? Because if you are going to Ekpe, and the person you want to marry is going to Ibadan, no matter how much love he has for you, he will drive towards Ibadan. And you want to go to Ekpe. So the man will have such a woman that will be struggling the steering with him. So Ekpe you will not get to. Ibadan the man will not get to. The two of you will collapse at the middle of the road. But when you have a man that is going to Ibadan and a woman that is going to Redemption Camp, before the man ever dreamt of getting to Ibadan, the woman will have gotten to Redemption Camp. So you will have a woman who is happy, smiling, singing and rubbing your head as you are driving. You understand? That's what makes the journey sweet. But when you have two people going different destinations in the same car, that's a disaster. So that's what I'm saying, that every one of us knows what we want. Okay, don't let me say we know where we're going. We know what we want. So you need to ask, what do you want? What are your expectations in this relationship? That's so much that I teach people in my school. I run a marriage school. Because you need to sit down. We talk about a statement of purpose. You must be able to craft it. It must align. We talk about your core values. Your core values are the things that dictate how you think your life has become so fulfilled. So you must put that down and try to align so that the family can have what we call core value. Then you must have your constitution. There's no nation without constitution. There's no organization without company policy. What is the company? What is this marriage policy that we want to run? You both append your signature on it, and it becomes a blueprint that you're going to use to run your home. So we don't do marriage by chance. We do it deliberately and intentionally.
I like the big grammars you're using, but it's kind of like it sounds vague.
Okay.
But when you say constitution, so does this mean that things you would agree on, or maybe things regarding visits, in-laws coming in? So when you're like a guideline towards your home and how it is supposed to be, or
I love
is
the
it
fact
something
that
more complicated?
I love the fact that you say it's vague because you can't take it from that word constitution. We're talking of, let me break it down and call it code of conduct. How do we want to conduct ourselves in this zone? As regard finances, how do we want to conduct ourselves? As regard parenting, how do we want to conduct ourselves? As regard our career, I still want to go to school. I don't know about you. Let us place it on the table. How do we conduct ourselves? I know you have siblings. I have siblings. You have parents. I have parents. How do we want to conduct ourselves? Oh, there's a portion of the constitution I teach in marriage constitution that I call immigration law. How will people come to visit you? Who gives the visa? How long are they going to stay? You must state it there. You give back. Who is coming for Mugo first? Is it your mother or my mother? Then you don't do all these things.
These are things that we don't really want to converse about.
But these are the things you need to decide on before you get into it. Let it be stated. So that it won't be a fact. How long is the first mother that we come? We stay. When you don't plan, you have actually planned to fail. You can't do things by chance. You have to be deliberate. You can't see any organization that is not well documented in terms of their processes and procedures. And if I teach you that marriage is an enterprise, then I expect you to put those things in place. When you see people doing well in marriage, these are the things they are running on. It's not by chance. I can tell you for free. It's not by chance. It is being deliberate.
I like the way you're able to now make us see, even for some of us in marriage, and it seems like, what is it, Seth? Is it not marriage? I like you like me, talk your own back. And it just seems like it's going to be an easy ride. But my next question really would be that across the issues you've handled regarding marriage, which of them is the most constant?
I won't be able to say this is the most constant. But I would rather tell you the one that is basically the underlying issue, and it's communication. And people feel that we are all born with communication or capacity to communicate. No. We were all born with capacity to talk, but not to communicate. Communication is different from talking.
Can you repeat that again?
People feel that we are all born with the capacity to communicate, but no. We are all born with the capacity to talk, to speak. Everybody can talk. Everybody can speak. Ha 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 is talking. La 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 is speaking. But do people understand you? Do you make sense? So communication is more than just talking. Communication is the meeting of the minds. The sender, the receiver, having information, and with feedback that correlates. I put it this way. If you are communicating with me, you have an expectation of what you want me to give.
Absolutely.
As a feedback. If you don't get it, something is wrong. It's either you didn't communicate well or I don't understand. So who should take responsibility? Somebody said the person that communicated. I said, no, the two of them should take responsibility. If I don't understand what you said, is it not okay for me to ask questions? Is this what you mean? Why should I just respond based on assumption? Can you see how it is? So sometimes the wife is saying something or the husband is saying something, and because of where we are coming from, that has created different lenses for each of us, we are saying things differently based on the use of words. What is a statement that you make that is annoying to me because of where I'm coming from is something that you love at from where you are coming from.
Absolutely.
And words are powerful. So if we don't speak the same language and we don't speak with one voice, there will be a problem. So with all the issues over time that I've come to realize in marriage, I found that At the bottom of it is the fact that communication is not effective.
Mm.
I mean, let me paint this in closing. I came back from work, or you are asking me for money, and I know I don't have money. Instead of to say, oh, my wife, I don't have money on me, no tata for yaya. Is there anything you can do for me to stand in? When I come back tomorrow, I will give it back to you. Compared to, you don't even know anything. You don't know about any other thing that will be asking money for money. Am I your ATM? Which one is a better communication that will think with gender peace in the home? It's not the first one. Oh, my sweetheart, I don't have money on me now. Is there any way you can step in? Can you see? Soft answer turns away wrath. Or you came back from work as a woman, you are tired, and your husband just rolled on you in the midnight, wanting sex. And you say, you don't even know any other thing more than sex. Is it food? Compared to, oh, honey, I'm so tired. I had a very hectic day. Can I come and massage you so I can relax a bit
Consolation
and
prize.
just, you understand? And you do that. Which one do you think your husband will love? The first one or the second one? It's all about communication. There's what to say, there's how to say it, there's when to say it, there's where to say it. There are principles in communication. So at the bottom of every conflict is this lack of effective communication. And the other most important one is the fact that we are all selfish and self-centered.
That is like unraveling a different box. And while you were speaking, I was thinking about the fact that yes, communication is essential, but we see that two people that have decided to get married were apparently not brought up in the same environment. And so when you speak about communicating, I've heard some ladies that will say that until the guy is shouting, I don't even take him serious. Until the guy is abusing or shouting or making everybody know, instilling his force as a man, I'm not going to listen to him. And so if that is the kind of woman that someone marries, and the man is just the very cautious, courteous person, how do you think communicating in that kind of family would be like?
Communication does not start in marriage, it starts before the marriage. Marriage itself is just a continuation of the relationship that you've been having. You understand? So what do you even communicate when you are proposing to each other? You say you are dating, you say you are courting. What are you communicating? Is it not about your goals? Is it not about your personality? Is it not about knowing the person you want to spend the rest of your life with? That is the time you're supposed to communicate all that. There were things I told my wife before we got married about myself, how I perceive life, what life means to me, what friendship means to me, what my family means to me, what relationship with my mother means to me. Those are the things you communicate so the person can know you more. You understand? If you know that I'm a soft talker, why do you want me to talk in Omowope's way before you believe me? Why don't you take me for who I am? If you're not going to take me for who I am, understanding me, then there's not going to be a relationship. You understand? Understanding is key if a relationship is going to work. And you can't understand somebody that is not open to you. So openness, understanding, and trust are critical for every successful marriage. So it's all about understanding, but we need to communicate who I am. And that's the reason why when you want to marry somebody, a lot of test questionnaires that I put before you in order to be able to do your personality profiling, because you need to know the person you are getting married to. I'm telling you, you need to know the person. So don't expect that the person should be your father. If you want somebody like your father, go and marry your father. If you want somebody like your mother, go and marry your mother. Because your father isn't your husband, your mother isn't your wife. So you need to understand this person. My own scripture that I believe so much, my Bible that I believe so much, it said, deal with each other with knowledge. What knowledge? If you don't have the knowledge about the person, you can't live with the person. You'll be a stranger with him. Huh? So that's what I'm saying. Irrespective of anything you want to talk about, when you understand a person, you will be dealing with the person based on the understanding. I won't treat you the way I treat my wife. There are some things that I say to you. I can't say it to my wife because I know my wife. I mean, for example, I was talking to my wife and my wife was looking at her back. And I said, I'm wondering what that means. He said, I'm just thinking about who are you talking to? I said, of course. He said, it can't be me because you are shouting.
In communication, there are people that we call auditory people. When you yell or you shout, they don't hear what you are saying. They are hearing your shouting and yelling. So my wife is auditory, personality type. So communication is a big topic I treat when I'm taking people in session, because it's more than just talking. You need to communicate to me the way I want to be communicated to, not the way you feel like communicating to me, because I won't understand. There's a way I perceive communication. You need to know it. There is auditory, there is visual, there is kinesthetic, and there is audio digital.
Mm.
You come to school for
I
that.
wouldn't, I wouldn't want us to dive right in on this episode regarding those four. But I think that was a good time with you here today.
Same here, same here.
And I think that a lot of more people need to hear all of these things.
Excellently.
I'm really, really so grateful that you joined us on this conversation today. It was such a delight having you, Tayo Lushola.
I'm so excited too, honestly. And thank you for all that you're doing. I would love to be back.
Thank you. And on that note, this is your formal invitation to say that you would be back again, and again.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be back.
Yes, sir. And so, on that note, our dear viewers, we've come to the end of this episode. We'll see you again on the next episode. Thank you.